Please welcome Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Hey, dude, I won't drive you out
Now, boys, the ironic thing is I saw you recently at an Oscar party, and my wife and I were talking for a bit. My wife always says to me, you know, those guys are so well-mannered. She says they're the nicest guy. Yeah. You wouldn't know that from watching.
we can fake it really well because, you know, we grew up, you know, with grandparents and all that. We know how to behave when we have to.
Now, I remember I grabbed your ass and you ran away real scared.
Well,
I don't know why.
Like the first time I met you, I remember you farted on me and you took a picture of it.
Yeah. On the show. It was great.
The show, and then when you, like, express disgruntlement, they go, you're so fucking uptight. Now, I complimented you that night, and I should say in public. Have you seen Orgasmo? The film Orgasmo? Yeah. Well, the song over the final credits. And Orgasmo is not Birth of a Nation, but the song over the final credits is the single funniest
The whole movie
song.
was about getting that song.
It was all about the song, yeah.
Now you're a man.
Yeah. But it was just...
Have you ever heard the song? Can I have
really
a little
like
riff of You're a Man?
No, do it.
Okay. You're a man. That's it, the whole song. Thank you.
Yeah, now no one's going to see it for sure.
No, I just like the fact that the whole end song is the word man. There's nothing else to it. Now, I have to ask you this. I like the conceit of the present show. God, I'm so embarrassed I did that man thing. But I like the idea that this show really isn't about that it could have been done for either guy. That you really just wanted to do a show.
Yeah, when we got the idea for the show, we really thought Al Gore was going to be president. You know, it was a year before the election, and we thought, wow, Al Gore's probably going to be president, the most boring, lame guy in the world. Like, we got to make a sitcom about it.
Well, that's My Bush is such a perfect title. What was it there? My Father the Robot? Or what?
We had an idea for an episode. Yeah, we had an idea for an episode where he was going to be a robot.
Oh, they made a robot to take over his place in case he needed two at once, but the robot had two big bolts sticking out of its neck.
Like, no one could tell who
I'm Al Gore. And it was like,
which one is it? Which one is it? No one
you guys, it's me. It's Al. Me. I'm the real Al.
So the idea, the kernel of inspiration behind the show isn't exactly to rip the guy. It was to rip the confines of the traditional sitcom format.
The idea that sitcoms take a person like Ray Romano, right, and just, you love this guy, you know, and they just set him out there and say, here, you love this guy. Okay, I love this guy.
Him.
And they take, you know, Gina Davis and it's like, here, you love her. And okay. And so we thought, take a real person who doesn't necessarily give us permission. And we thought first, maybe do the Barbra Streisand show, right? And have like
just have a look
her
like
show, just have someone look alike, you know, and just. But then, you know, like, well, she's too big of a bitch. She'd do really mean things. And so, we thought, what about like, you know? And then we thought maybe doing it about just friends down the street. But then we thought, no, let's do it about the president. And really, the whole idea for the show became, when we came up with concepts for the show, it was all on a chalkboard. One side, political issues, abortion, death penalty, all that, and then this side, like, wacky neighbor shows up, right? And like plots of like frat buddies show up and all this stuff, and we just drew lines, you know, and decided
so it's the commingling of the minutiae of real life. With
take a big political issue like abortion and make it a B plot in a sitcom.
It's always, you know, gun control is always like it's not what George learned that day. It was what influenced his decision about gun control. It's what gun control taught him about treating his wife or about how to talk to your friends. Yeah. what abortion taught him about how to be a better person.
In the last episode, he accidentally killed someone, and he learned from execution that, you know, execution and killing someone really taught me that I shouldn't show off in front of my friends. And it's just like that's sort of always the lesson.
It's really kind of retarded, actually. The whole idea.
But I know it got great ratings the first time, but as you walk around the week after, you're so recognizable, you two. I'm sure people come up to you. Did they think it was just going to be a complete rip job on the president, and were thus disappointed?
Yeah, I mean, people were surprised. No, people were just surprised. They're like, are you guys big Bush supporters? Because on the one hand, we kind of make him look like a boob the whole show, but at the end, he's a nice guy who loves his wife, who makes the right decisions and learns things. Really, that's just us making fun of the sitcom convention, because, you know, no one wants to watch an asshole for over and over.
Well, beyond your needs from Bush for the purposes of the sitcom, what is your take on him? Before, so far during his his reign. What do you think of him so far?
You know, before it was all right, these two guys both suck. It's like, you know, it was like, and that was really the idea. And we told people we didn't vote because, and people are like, how can you not vote? People died so you can vote. And it's like, not for two penises, you know, like, you know, just rather stay home. And, but you know, I got to admit, so far, I agree with you. He's laying low. That's the coolest thing. He's learning that no news is good news, and he's just basically out of the limelight in a way that I think is kind of cool. He's more like an
He figured out the less he talks, the better.
Yeah.
You know, because he is just going to fuck up words and stuff.
Yeah.
So it is better. But
well,
like,
you ever watch old Gary Cooper movies? He was, you know, he's a great presence, and it resonates more when he would not say anything.
Yeah.
He always had that
absolutely.
sort of haunted look,
He's
like the
almost
big
like-
man who was haunted, you know?
Well, he's almost like Dad. You just want to get to the point as a president, he can just go, just give the country a dirty look, you know, and you're like, oh,
we
shit,
want our
Dad.
pilots back. Dad's
How do you
fucking
think he
taking
did
care
there?
of it.
Yeah.
How do you think he handled
I think he
this
did
thing?
all he could. I think he did what he could. I mean, I think that, you know, I was getting with people saying, you know, just say anything to get them back. You know, it kind of belittles their whole, you know, these people are servicemen. That belittles their whole position, you know, to say that we should do anything just to get them back. What they're about. But I think that he, you know, in his right way, he just
Let other people deal with
let
it.
other people
What they were
deal with
doing.
it.
Yeah,
That's
look
the
at
smartest
they knew
thing.
what they were doing, which
You know
is
what I
smart.
like about you guys is it's the anarchy of pragmatism. Every time I meet you guys, I expect like the underlying sentiments to be so virulent and so like bizarre. And when you dig back in, you guys really are William Wyndham. You are like Patty Duke's father. You love all that shit in a way.
Yeah. I mean, we're pretty lame, normal guys, really.
Now, what about? Do you think? Are you? I always think, you know, people go, "What do you think these people say when they see you doing jokes about them?" And I think they don't even fucking know who I am, for Christ's sake. If they're, you know, if they're running the country and they're sitting down to watch my show, you know, we're
more stoked. That's the whole thing. We're more stoked on what we just hope that someday Saddam Hussein sees the South Park movie, because that's, and only because. It'll be kind of the same as this. I think if George Bush saw this, he wouldn't know whether to be offended or like flattered. You know what I mean?
Or
and like,
confused.
Or
I think he would just be like,
and that's what we
why?
think
What are you
Saddam.
doing?
If Saddam saw the South Park movie, like, what? I'm not gay. What is that?
Well, you know, I used to have a similar thing. Larry King used to take off once in a while, and I would host his show. And I know that CNN's big over there, and I'm sure Hussein watches. And I always had the same image of him lying in bed with a clicker and his wife and his undies, you know, going, where the fuck's Larry? Who's this kid? Honey, do you know this Dennis Miller kid? What is he about?
What is this guy saying about him? Who is this fucking guy?
Now, what criticisms do you have so far of Bush's job? What would you single out as something that he hasn't done correctly?
Well, as much as it is smart that he shuts his mouth because he can't talk, it is troubling on a fundamental level that the president can't talk. You know, I really think so. I mean, it's like Reagan was the great communicator, and I mean, it is part of like, I think the president's like probably most important job is being the figurehead and the inspiration for the country. And here's this guy, he's like, he can't talk. You know, and then they're all the Republicans ripping on everybody like us for fucking making the country dumb, and it's like, fuck you. You can't even fucking talk. You know? It's true, you know?
We've got a phone call for you. We've got Seth from Clear Lake, Iowa. Seth?
Yeah, basically what I want to know is, do you think Bush could handle such a major controversy like Clinton did?
I mean, a major scandal?
Scandal, controversy.
I think he's way more
whatever.
likely to stay out of one. That's his whole point. I mean, I think he's way more, it's hard to imagine him being scandalous. The guy goes to bed at 4 in the afternoon. I mean, what?
Clinton, I mean, that's like Clinton's got out of scandals like his whole life. He's good at it, you know? Like,
Yeah.
he can deal with it,
His
know?
ass is 80% Super Bowl. Every time you think he's going to fall on it, he just bounced up higher. Line 8, we've got Jonathan from the Bronx. Jonathan.
Yes, how you doing? I just wanted to say I'm a big loser for just answering your call. Anyway, are you guys going to integrate current events to your show?
Yeah, if anything happens, like, well, how far in advance do you shoot?
The thing is, it was really important to us for this show. You know, that's more for the Saturday Night Live and for the, you know, and the Lenos and all that. I mean, the thing is, we wanted to make a show that was a sitcom. And again, the issues aren't current. They're more the very broad abortion, death penalty, gun control. You know, it's always
things that aren't
going to go away anytime soon. We didn't want to do something that was current, because actually South Park is more current than this show is. I mean,
now, how was my, in closing, how was my football partner Al Michaels to deal with in basketball? Did he take direction well?
he was, you know what, he was really cool. We never actually worked, but he was really cool until he sold our asses out so fast. A week after it came out on Monday Night Football, he was like, I didn't even want to be in that movie. I thought it was stupid. And
well, you know, every time I see Costas now, he's always so prim and proper. I just want to go to him. They got you on film saying my nipples are getting big.
Exactly. That's all it was about.
Yeah, and they all cashed a check. They were in the movie.
So when's the show on, boys? Remind the folks.
It's on Wednesday nights at 10:30 right after South Park.
Matt and Trey, good to see you, boys.
Thank you very much.
Stick around. We'll do the news.